So I like to see HTML as giving commands to your web browser to display whichever content you give it to display, and each command is written in angled brackets. So if, for example, I was telling the computer to shut the door, if that was possible, I would put shut in angled brackets, and then the door as the objects of command will come outside of the angled bracket. And this is basically what HTML looks like. It gives a command, gives the objects of command, and then closes off the command. This is what your basic HTML document looks like, and it's going to be a lot of lines of code of this kind of document, so you have to get used to it. Okay, let's get started. Before you start any HTML document, you need to declare the doc type. So the doc type is HTML. This gives the browser a heads up on what type of document you're creating. So we do that and open our HTML tag. Now we realize with brackets that once you open a command, it gives you the closing tag. Makes things very easy for you. Okay, so we start with the head. We mentioned that every HTML document, every website I mean, has a head, and the head is mostly made up of the title and the favicon. For now, we just learn how to create a title. So like we mentioned, that the command is in angled bracket and the objects of command comes after the angled bracket. So the command will be title, and let's name my title code width. So you realize that the command came and the object of command came afterwards, and then there was a closing tag. Now if we don't close the head, everything else that follows after this would be assumed to be a head. That is why brackets helps you to close it easily once you start. So we've created our head, and next thing we want to do is to save the document so we can see the effects of our code in a web browser. So you go to File and Save As, and I want to save mine as code width, but I need to add the .html to let the computer know that it's an HTML file and it will be open in HTML. So let's save that. Okay, because I've already saved it, that appeared. Okay, so once we've saved it, we can go to our live preview and see what this looks like. So this icon here is for live preview, and there we have it. Up here we can see code width as my title. That was very easy, wasn't it? Okay, let's move on to the body. The body is where most of your content is, so we need to open the body tag, and as always, brackets gives us the closing tag. We're going to start with learning how to create text. Now we can give our website a heading using the tag h1. h1 is the tag for headings. So I want to name it Free Code School. Now the h1 tag is the largest heading, but we can give subtitles by using smaller headings. So we'll try the h2 tag. So as the number increases, the size of the heading decreases. So I would call this one Online Coding Bootcamp. So we click on the live preview, and then it shows us what we're working on. So we see here h1 gave us a big free code school, h2 gave us a smaller version as a subheading. Alright, let's learn how to create paragraphs. Now the code for paragraphs is P. So it gives you an opening and a closing tag. So I want to write, this is the introductory class. So this creates a paragraph on my page. I can create as many paragraphs as I want without having to number them. Just keep writing the command paragraph. So I can write another paragraph. HTML stands for and you always have to remember to save. So you could either use Ctrl S or File and Save, and go back to your live preview. And as you can see, we added 2 different paragraphs to it. Now if you look closely, the space between this paragraph and this paragraph is very distinct. You can see the difference between the paragraphs with the spacing. Now if we don't want to space these paragraphs too big and we want the next sentence to come on the next line, we use what we call the line break. So I want to create a new paragraph to show you what this looks like exactly. Okay, so this is a new paragraph I created. If I don't want to have all of this on the same line and I want the human body to come on the next line, I introduce the tag BR, which creates a line break. So everything else after BR comes in the next line. So let's see what that looks like. Don't forget to save. Live preview shows us exactly what we're doing, and then we have it. We see that the spacing here is bigger than what's here. There's almost no space here. So that's how we create it. So that means it's easy for us to write a poem like this, because you know how poems are written in stanzas, which can be represented by paragraphs. So that's your first assignment. Let's write a 3-stanza poem with a title. With a heading. All the best.